I always say, I get this question all the time. Would you ever do that celebrity boxing stuff?
Yeah.
Dude, A, ease on the term celebrity.
Yeah.
Also, B, if you're here with Bert, you know, a year from now,
yeah,
and you're like, damn, you see Schaub's fighting fucking Nick Lachey? You know what I'm saying? Like, business isn't going well.
100%. Cheers.
This episode of Two Bears, One Cave is brought to you by Squarespace. Turn your cool idea into a new website. Showcase your work. Publish your content. Sell products. Promote whatever you're doing. It can be an event. It can be a wedding. It can be a party. It can be whatever you want. You got to have a website, and you know you can get it all done at Squarespace. Beautiful templates created by world-class designers. You customize the look, the feel, the settings, everything optimized, of course, for mobile right out of the box. Built-in search engine optimization, and of course, 24/7 award-winning customer support. Squarespace has got you covered. Make it yourself. Create a beautiful website. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial. When you're ready to launch, use the offer code BEARS to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com. Enter the code word BEARS. You got a black belt though, right?
Yeah, dog.
Okay. Just making sure.
What's up, man?
I mean, I just, I was going to.
Skeptical?
Yeah, I just wanted, you actually have one?
I have one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually have one.
Okay.
You sound like my son right now.
Oh, sorry.
That's how it went down.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's how it went down. Because I signed him up for jiu-jitsu, and then he's going, and, I'm taking him aside, coaching him. And then we're walking out, and he goes, Dad, look at that. Look at the instructor, Dad. He has a black belt. And, he's like, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. And he goes, do you think you could beat him up? I go, me? Your dad? He goes, yeah. I go, Tiger, I'd beat up all the guys in the geese right there at one time. He goes, no. And he goes, you're a black belt? I go, and my thing is I never lie to him. Like, I'll tell stories, whatever. I never want to lie to him.
Yeah.
And he goes, you have a black belt? I go, dude, like physically, do I have one at home? Yeah. No, but like your dad has the skill. Like we can call my coaches. This is me. I'm like, we'll call my coach right now.
And he's 5, right?
He's 5. I'm like, I'll call him up right now, bitch. Like, what's up, dog? I'll call him right now. He'll vouch for me.
Yeah.
He's like, but you don't have one. I'm like, I don't. But you know what we're gonna do?
Yeah.
And so I call my coach right now, right there on the spot in the car. He's on the spot. My son's like half asleep in the back. I'm like, wake up, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, coach, how you've been telling me for like the last 2 years to come out to Denver, New York to get my black belt? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm coming this fucking Friday. I'm bringing my kid. He's like, cool. We'll be ready to go. Booked the ticket, flew out there, rolled with the guys.
So your black belt was essentially waiting for you?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
For years.
So, and when did you started jiu-jitsu in, was it 07? Is that what I?
Yeah,
07.
07.
And did you come into it with any wrestling background?
No, zero.
None. Did you take to it right away?
Right away.
Right away.
I just had like this weird knack for it. And then I was just drawn to jiu-jitsu. And then Shane Carwin, who's the heavyweight champ at the time, me and him walked in the gym at the same time. He only had one fight, but was like still working all the time. Mm-hmm. And then we were just two big boys. Then he took me under his wing. And then he was friends with the head coach, Leister Bowling, at University of Northern Colorado, which is the only Division I wrestling program in Colorado. Mm-hmm. But it was like an hour and a half drive. So we would drive 3 times a week, and I'd work out with the team wrestling. And I'd go against their heavyweights. And even with like minimal training, I was doing pretty well.
Against their heavyweights?
Yeah, and Shane was like, dude, like you could do this. I'm like, you think? He's like, this is what they do, man. He's like, you're not doing bad. I was like, all right, fuck it.
And was Carwin a good wrestler?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
National champion at Western.
And his jiu-jitsu was good?
No, he was so big. He was like, what's the thing from the
oh, I see.
Fantastic
like
Four?
More just like yeah.
Good luck arm barring that fucking, rhinoceros. It was like a nightmare. He was just anti-wrestling, like basically anti-jiu-jitsu.
Really?
Yeah, he's a monster.
Because you have to be a little more fluid to be good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, he's just like a meathead. We were both meatheads, but he's more meathead.
I fucking hated wrestling. I did it 1 year in school. I hated it.
It's tough, man.
It wasn't even like the work. I'm not saying like I don't like the work. I hate the head gear. We're just being like pressed up against the head, the neck. You know what I mean? Like any of that shit. I was like, fucking get like I like boxing workouts. I like.
Are you a hugger though?
Am I a hugger?
Yeah. Like, do you like when I came in here, I didn't give you a hug. You
Yeah,
know?
it kind of sucked. I like hugs.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I was going to. I was worried about your arm. You know.
No, it's fine.
All right.
We can hug on the way out. If you're cool.
100%.
All right.
Yeah.
Give me a big fucking hug.
Dude,
Okay.
I'll fucking hug you.
You're gonna hug the shit out of me?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And your producer.
Yeah. But I don't fucking neck. Can I tell you that even like playing around, not that this is, but like fucking around, somebody like goes like this to you, I fucking
You freak out.
freak out. Yeah. I really don't like it.
You don't like when someone touches your neck.
I don't like it at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. None of that stuff bothers me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I embrace all.
But I did embraced boxing workouts immediately. I loved it.
Are you do? But you can't do them now.
I have to wait a little bit. Yeah.
But you're gonna when you get back to Austin, you're find a coach and shit.
Yeah, because I enjoy it though. You know, like with
It's a
any
good
sport,
workout.
it's a great workout. I know it's not the same as like spike. I've only sparred like a couple times.
Don't
but
spar.
I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Smart people don't spar.
I'm not gonna spar anymore. But the whole thing is that like I do also find that making the skill set better also feels like, you feel like you're getting better at it.
It's cool.
You have to have
And when you're getting better, like you're burning calories, like
Yeah.
it's a cool goal.
Yeah, and the workouts are like you have like a really good mitt session with somebody. It feels
You
great.
feel
The
badass.
rhythm of it,
Yeah.
it feels
You
nice.
come home, tell Christina, I'm thinking about take a fight.
Yeah. Do you know
You're
that-
watching Floyd Logan, like I bet you I'd fuck Floyd up.
Fuck him up.
That's how it
Because
goes.
that became big, it started to become like now it's like it's completely
Like
pop
the
culture.
celebrity.
But it started about 2 years ago. Like that's when it kind of started. In that time when I was working out at a gym, one of the guys was like, you could probably take a fight. And I was like, I'm sorry. And he was like Staples Center. And I was like, Staples Center what?
Yeah, what?
was-
He
He was like, no, you could fight and he was like one of your friends, one of your comedian friends or something. I was like, I'm good. He was like, do you know how much money you can make? And I was like, do you know how much I make now?
Yeah, bitch. Do you know?
Like-
Like I always say, I get this question all the time. Would you ever do that celebrity boxing stuff,
Yeah.
dude? A, ease on the term celebrity.
Yeah.
Also, B, if you're here with Bert, a year from now,
Yeah.
and you're like, damn, you see Schaub's fighting fucking Nick Lachey, you know what I'm saying? Like business isn't going well.
Yeah, no.
Like I'm not selling tickets on the road.
Yeah.
Stand up has shit the bed.
It has.
The podcasts aren't going
And
well.
also, you're probably going to catch a fucking attempted murder charge if you fight like
beat the shit out of him.
Oh my god.
Him or Mario
dude.
Lopez, both can get it.
Yeah, they can both get it.
But
huh?
I'd never do it unless The Rock came after me.
Yeah.
like talking shit all the time.
Would you love that though? To if it was against the world's superhero,
like The Rock?
The
And
Rock. Here's the problem.
problem. Even my mom wouldn't be rooting for me.
No,
you know what I'm
no.
saying? Like everybody loves The Rock.
Everyone loves The Rock.
I would just be like the heel.
I
don't
know.
want. I'm too sensitive.
Yeah, but
Like I just can hate shit.
I'll
all
tell
the
you
time.
who'd be in your corner. This guy right here.
This guy.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Fuck you, Dwayne." Yeah.
Fuck you, Dwayne.
Yeah, I'll be talking mad shit, dude.
Yeah, unless The Rock comes after me, I'm not partaking.
God, I wish he didn't have so much going on, so that he could find a beef.
Have you
with
ever seen his schedule?
I follow him.
How much money you need, dude?
Yeah, I know.
Calm the fuck down.
It's,
you
you
don't
know,
need to do all those movies. Go home.
4:30
But go
a.m.
home.
workouts, like 4:30 a.m. He's like, I need my anchor. And
Yeah,
like
it's like Mark Wahlberg. It's like I wake up
Same,
at 3.
same.
I go to bed at 6.
I did a movie with him, and
Oh, really?
I was like, is that for real? And they were like, bro, we had 7 a.m. call times or 6 a.m. certain days, and they were like, he is coming from the gym here, and they were like, what he hates are these any night shoots because it fucks up his.
Oh,
He goes to
wow.
bed at
Yeah.
fucking 7 o'clock at night. So
His
yeah,
kids are like, Dad, so boring.
so boring.
You get 2 hours with Dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's his,
Also, chill out though. You know?
it is. It's
Hey,
a lot.
Marky, chill out. Like I see those things. I'm like, nah.
You know what I
get
think
it.
happens to these guys though? And it's the same kind of guy. It's Mark Wahlberg, it's The Rock, Kevin Hart,
Vin Diesel.
So
I see. As a test.
yeah.
As you passed. You passed. Yeah. He's nowhere. He's not in that list.
come on, man.
Yeah, come on, dog.
So, but Tom Cruise, this is what when you hit the top tier of you're a top 5 box office draw in the world, and you actually you get to sit in it for a moment. You're like, this holy shit! I do a movie, and millions of people buy tickets, and I'm on the lists, and I make just unimaginable money.
Stupid amount of money.
It's too addictive. It's too much of a rush, and your natural competitive juices take over, and you go, I want to stay here and progress. I want to beat.
You're
I want
worried
to.
about
I'm number
falling off.
3. Yeah, and those guys all have that thing, and they all have a physical component to their lifestyle and who they are. In
They're
other
all
words,
monsters. Like Tom Cruise animal.
That guy's fucking like 60, and he's doing
Monster.
He's doing action, doing his own
Rock's a
stunts.
monster.
Mark. You know,
How long are we gonna pretend they're all not on juice, huh? How long do you want to do that? How long you want to do that? I mean, we're just all gonna assume we're on the same protein
the
powders.
funniest is the Rocks though, because
Isn't it great?
It's great because I don't think people really understand that you don't just carry 265 in muscle with no body fat.
5%.
Like you just
And he'll be like, cheat day. You're like, yeah, you're
And by the way, scroll up a little bit. Scroll up. He always has that smile on these. See that right there? That smile is in like every post. But
Dude,
like he's so vascular,
so juicy.
and yeah. Of course. And
but also, why? Like, if my agent called me up right now, I was like, "Hey, Shab, crazy man, they don't even need you to audition. You're in the next Batman, but you got to put on 20 pounds of lean muscle." I would say, call up the Rocks guy right now and stick it in my ass.
stick it in me. Yeah,
Dude, whatever it takes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care why people care.
I don't care. I think it's great. I wish that they talked about it more. I wish we did.
I wish they were more open about it. Oh no, that's
You know what that is, man? That's a lot of water. You got to drink water every day. And you got to
he's a
eat chicken.
beast. He's an animal. He does work his ass off.
He does work as of course he does. But you may tell me you may tell me it's just fucking creatine powder and avocado.
Isn't it weird we all act like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's like,
And they also act like if you go juice, they're like, you're fucking jealous or you're bitter or you wish you could. And you're like, hey, man, I thought we were talking about the obvious right
yeah,
now.
I thought everyone knew.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with it though. He's fucking Black Adam. Yeah, dude, get juicy.
Look at this from right here. Look at this, the shirt. Yeah. Click on that. You don't have to play the volume. I'm just like,
Dude, he has tits for days too.
come on, bro.
No, he's a monster, dude.
And also, this is a man in his late 40s. Let's not forget that. He's not like 21.
He's not like a young spring chicken.
Look at this fucking when he breathes, his muscles like
jacked.
so jacked.
No, I celebrate.
If this was a not famous person and you saw this guy, you'd shit your pants. Everybody would be like, "Oh my fucking god, look at who this guy is."
No, dude, if he's in his late 40s and you saw this guy talking like this at the gym, I would be like, "Oh, mental illness."
Oh yeah. Oh,
I wouldn't be like, "Oh, no, he's normal."
Yeah,
he's talking about like, every time I work out, I drink this energy drink. I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." We would roast the show this guy.
Oh yeah, and you definitely think he's crazy.
Yeah, but because he's Moana, we're just gonna pretend he's on fucking sauce.
Amazing year of growth thanks to your Zoe energy brand.
Clean natural energy. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
I love it though. He's crushing it.
He's like, I'm drinking my energy drink, and by the way, I have 100 cc's of HGH in my thigh right now.
By the way, I eat Anavar pills for breakfast. What's fucked up?
My fucking kidneys shut down earlier this week.
And I'm tied to a machine every night to clear out my system. But what's funny is he was like, he does the vlogs. Like I'm starting vlogs now.
Yeah.
And he does the vlogs and he's like, he looks in, how he does. He looks in the camera. He's great. Most entertaining guy in the world. And he goes, I'm doing a special thing today. My stunt double, who's been with me for 10 years, I'm going to give him the gift of a lifetime here. And I'm like, oh, damn, what's he giving him? Like
some Under Armour shoes?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking like, some dope ass, like, is it a special edition, like Ferraris, a Pista, we're talking about an F12 here, SF90, some fire shit.
Yeah.
In comes this F-150 that he's sponsored by.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, oh, you didn't, bro. He's like, I did bring it here. I'm like,
It's free. It's free.
This is advertising for them, and that was free.
Yeah,
that didn't cost him anything.
I know.
That's like him giving me a Snickers bar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I wish people with tons of money would just flex and spend it. Why does it always got to be a sponsored thing?
Always.
Right? Just buy it.
Just do it, dude.
That's not a fucking F1.
But to your point about them being competitive as fuck,
yes.
Don't you think it's the same way in comedy?
Yes, and especially when you hit like notable, like levels where it's like once you go on a theater tour, you're not just like, cool, everything's good. You want to go on the bigger theater tour
into arena.
And then the big thing is if you study the like comedy arena business, most people don't do repeat arena tours.
Why?
Because your draw kind of peaks and then kind of like tapers out, so
unless you're like Jumanji 2 or some shit.
Unless you're like Kevin. Kevin's like one of the few guys, Kevin, Russell Peters, trying to think, Chappelle doesn't like playing arenas. He does them.
But he doesn't like the big theater.
I mean, I think he's always said that he prefers like clubs and like smaller venues. He does them whenever he wants, so
Yeah.
like he can keep doing them.
But there's a certain amount of guys. Like, did you see Forbes top 10 list?
Recently, no.
Yeah, like Sebastian's on there.
For this year, because this year would be a weird year.
No,
for
not this year.
Oh, like
It had to be
previous?
last
Yeah,
year. Yeah,
yeah.
this year. I think
Seinfeld's been on it for like 20 years.
Yeah, he's on there every year.
Yeah.
every fucking year.
Yeah.
Him and like Jay Leno.
Yeah, and Rock will still like. I guess there's the 2019 one. Yeah, I remember that.
I think I made the 2020 list because I was one of 5 comics touring.
Sure, yeah. You should. Yeah, it's a crazy. Yeah, Gaffigan's on it a bunch. Amy, let's see, she's probably been on it a bunch. So Aziz was on it.
Jeff Dunham.
He's been on it, I'm sure, a dozen or
Dude,
more.
I was doing stand up live in Phoenix, and they wanted to add a show, and I was feeling myself, and I told my team, I'm like, all right, we're gonna go buy Phoenix Suns jerseys. And it was 3 p.m, and I look over because right across from where the Suns play, and it's packed. I'm like, yeah, the Suns aren't fucking playing. Why is it so packed? And they go, it's Jeff Dunham. I go, the puppet guy? Oh, yeah. He has 4 sold out shows there. He does 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. And I go, he has a 4 o'clock show? They go, yeah. I go, holy fuck.
That he's the reason, and being able to do that is why all these dipshit managers will tell like comedians started like, be clean. You know, which is like, it's bad. You should be what you are.
Whatever fits.
But like with Jeff, the thing is that when you think about his draw, that's so different from most comedians. Most comedians, you know, we play, it's obviously a nightclub thing. It's mostly, you know, adult humor or whatever.
sure.
You're doing clubs and maybe theaters and stuff. Because he's so clean, he can do like
Dude, 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock shows.
4 o'clock with
He
puppets.
can do like those. He does shows in like those mega churches. You know, you
Nuts.
see like those mega churches in the South. He can be like, you know what? On our way to that show, there's this town that has a 9,000 seat mega. Oh, we'll just do a show and
Sells
then
it out.
Sells it out. So
Monster.
All those, yeah, he can play to those.
Were you a guy, when probably not now because you've made it, but when you were coming up, were you a guy that compared yourself to other comics?
Well, I think
Like, would you get jealous when, like, not Bert because your boy, but other people would be like, damn, he's in theaters? I hear that a lot from other guys right now.
I mean, I don't know if I was like, man, I was more like more like a student. I feel like more like studying it, you know, and like, or I would work, you know, I opened for like everybody because I was plugged in. I got in with the improvs and Funny Bones, so I would work all those clubs, like coast to coast.
Which are the best ones to be in with.
Those are the
'Cause they
A
have the most
clubs.
spots, yeah.
So like you're opening for a lot of times, yeah, and known celebrity. And then I could see, like, I would start to figure out. I was like, oh, this person sold tickets because they're famous.
Yep.
And I would note like that was like a happening a lot. And then the ones who were really good at stand up were way smaller percentage. Like of all the celebrities and well-known people I opened for, I would say like 10 to 15% were really good comedians.
But those 10 to 50% now are probably way bigger. Still
Yeah,
doing it because
they're the ones
it's
that
a
continue.
marathon, not a sprint. So
Exactly.
you know how it is. You'll see someone with shit material, but people are like, oh, they're in this movie or
Yeah.
they did this show, and you know who they are. We don't need to name them. And even at the Comedy Store, you'll see them. They'll pop in.
Yeah.
And they're sandwiched between real comics. You're like, oh, you.
Oh, when sometimes when those now that like we know what we're doing and know what I'm looking at, when I see like those like a celebrity comic pop in, I'm like, you're gonna eat shit on
You're gonna
this
eat
show,
shit. And I can't wait to watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit around for this.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure you see me,
Yeah, me
after
too.
your set, so you know I saw it too.
Yeah, so you know.
Yeah.
And then I just go by and go, oh,
Yeah.
tough, dude.
Yeah. No, I was out
Did you
there.
see
man.
Tom though? They like Tom.
Yeah,
That's weird. Yeah. They like
Well,
Tom though. It's weird.
it's funny too because like you realize that you can end up like that, meaning that you can end up being like, well, if I'm known enough, you can like get away with it, you know?
It's so short lived though.
It's so short-lived,
Because then
and it's
people,
like, what?
because when you think about it, there's comics out there, those famous comics, celebrities who sell tickets, and their tickets, you know, $100 a piece or
Oh, my
$200 a
God.
piece. So you bring your girl, you're like a $400 a night plus dinner plus drinks. So say $600 with parking and babysitters. $600, you better be fucking good.
Yeah.
They get back home like, it's all right.
Yeah, no, you
Like, did
want
you
people
think
to
he was
be
that
like,
great? Nah, he wasn't that
when is that person coming
sure.
back?
Yep.
Like that was the best. Like, and that when you do announce, they're like, we bought on the fucking pre-sale.
Yep.
Like we could not miss you.
Yeah,
you know,
you've
because
done
it's
it
all
right,
about
man.
them coming back. You
Yep,
know.
that's what it is.
Yeah, I used to, man. I don't think I really. I mean, I probably we all have like, you know, hints of jealousy and stuff especially when you're young. You're like, how did that person get that? You know. But I think
I don't
most of it
have
was,
that. Well, because I think as I got in the game later, you know, and there's not that. And then all my peers, like you guys, are like so much more successful. So I'm like, yeah, of course they're better. I mean,
Well, these did it longer.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, so I think I took your approach where I just learned.
That's the way to do it.
Soak it all.
Yeah.
in. And then it's not like, oh, I'm going to be there. I'm like, yeah, I'll get there, man. I'll get there.
Which is
it's a marathon.
That's exactly how I used to approach it. Because I would just go like, I would look at my year and I'd be like, all right, this year I featured at like, let's say 20 clubs. And I made, or $30,000 or whatever it was. And I would go like the next year, I just was like, I just want it to be better than this year.
Yeah.
And like that thing where I was like this, I ended up featuring at 40 clubs this year and I made $20,000 more.
Yep.
So I would look at that as just progress and just trying to like make that progress happen by putting in work.
Yep.
So
my thing now is like, I'll look at like if we go back to a certain city, like if it's not selling more, then I didn't do my job. That's not that's not the people. So the way I gauge success now is, so let's say I was in San Antonio 2 years ago. Well, I'm going there in September. So if I can't sell more in September, then I'm messing up. It's on me.
Okay.
So I gauge all my success based off selling more in each market. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good way to see that it's moving along on the business side. And then you have to ask, like, because I would always try to go like, am I writing better material?
Correct.
And like, that's usually a thing that only you can really answer.
Yep.
And it sometimes it makes you have like tough conversations with yourself, but it's ultimately good. I mean,
you have to.
There's kind of like a parallel in a way with like athletics in that way, right?
It's
where
pretty
you're like,
black and white.
Yeah, where you're like, am I?
Yeah, and am I? If you're a quarterback, it's like, am I scoring enough touchdowns, winning games?
Yeah,
and
am I winning games?
It's like, are they laughing? Am I selling tickets?
Yeah.
Well, no, or they didn't laugh at this. Well, it's pretty black and white.
Yeah, and
there's no gray.
You can choose. That's the thing. Is one of those things where you can choose to be as delusional as you want to be, and we see right in front of us the delusional people. I mean, you have small delusions to yourself. We all do all the time where you'll be, like a joke is just kind of a half-assed joke, and you'll just be like, I just won't work on that.
Yeah,
like
you'll
know it sucks.
You're like, there's more there.
Yeah, and I'll be like, but that would take effort.
Yeah, I know.
So then you just, and then one day you're like, that joke fucking, and then you finally address it.
I also think, when you look at specials these days, and this is what I want to talk to you either on or off air about this. You can answer this if you want. Talking to, Netflix and Comedy Central and Showtime, HBO, you talk to all these people when you shoot your special, and then their analytics, analytics, that's what it is. It's pretty black and white.
Yeah.
We know that people stop watching specials at 28 minutes.
Yeah.
Some might come back, half come back. Some might finish. You might have the outliers who finish all. But whether it's Kevin Hart, Jerry Seinfeld, Dave
tap
Chappelle,
out.
they stop watching at 28 minutes.
Yeah.
Yet the industry we're in, people say you got to do an hour.
Yeah.
On the road, no doubt, people are paying money. You got to do an hour, dude. But when we're looking at like what people are watching, why we keep the people who run this industry keep pushing hours, to me is weird.
Yeah. Well,
because when I hear 20 minutes, I go, well, everyone should do 30.
Yeah. Everyone should do 30.
Everyone should do 30 though.
They're
like, yeah, I know they should.
For the specials, you kind of should. I think we're married to, we know that if you become a headliner, you do an hour, right? So
on the road. Yeah.
What's funny though is that, I mean, at Netflix, they have encouraged and aggressively encouraged trimming down these specials.
Why do you think that is?
No, I know it.
That's
it's
what
because
I'm
of
saying.
that data.
The
but they're just like, because I have a tendency on all of them to, I shoot a really long set. And then the hardest thing is like paring it down for the
editing it, cutting it down.
And like I've cut down, 10 minutes out of one, 12 out of one, and then it'll still be too heavy, like too fat for them. And they'll be like, they've encouraged like delivering like a 50-minute special. They're like, deliver that. And
I've also had from a friend who just signed a deal with them that they go, hey, so a lot of people watch in the beginning and then even less than 20 minutes. So put your closer at the top.
Oh, I've heard that.
Just to keep them. Don't save your best shit.
Open strong,
because they're not going to get there.
Yeah,
why the fuck are we doing?
I know. Well, that's the other thing though, is like if you're touring with that hour at a time, you probably feel like when it comes time to shoot, you're just like, well, let's just shoot this,
But think about it. It's like when you shoot a special, then you got to write a whole new hour. Mm-hmm. Well, if you have an hour on the road, you shoot 30 of that.
Yeah.
You have 30 to go out with on the road. And
Totally.
30.
Totally.
It makes so much more sense to me.
It does. And it's
with this old school model that Richard Pryor really ingrained in everybody to do this hour special. It's like, this is the standard.
If
But then
everybody,
the audience is telling you,
they're telling
we have
you.
these numbers.
the
that
intention
they're not
span
watching.
is much shorter.
Yeah.
If it was like mandated or like if totally embraced to do like 30-minute specials, I mean, I think it would be a huge celebration. Like people would be able to be like, oh, I can deliver one of those every few months.
Yeah, it'd be lit.
like yeah, it would be great, man. It would be great.
I mean, we could do it.
Yeah.
You just got to do it.
You just got to do it. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a reason why they started doing 15-minute stuff on Netflix is because they're like, we told you they watch half hours. They actually watch 15 minutes.
I guess the 15's pretty hot.
Yeah,
You got to have a hot 15.
And now, if you have 15-minute special, you better fucking destroy.
Destroy.
Yeah.
It'll be hot 15.
Hot 15,
Yeah.
man.
Don't give us any build up.
Because I still think this thing when people are like, who like, people ask like what comics do you like watching and who's hilarious, and I'll be like, I'll tell you one thing though, no matter who you like, there's nothing as funny, nobody as good as a feature in their prime, like about to pop.
Oh, dude,
like
with
a
their
guy
15
who's working
20?
every week doing his 20. And I go, you could put that guy in front of you put him in front of Chappelle and Hart and Rock and Rogan and whoever. I go, that guy will knock everyone's dick off because he does 20 minutes all the time.
Yes.
And because I remember, if you look at like the hardest I've ever I mean, I've had great headlining sets, but there was a period right before you headline where you're a murderous middle act, where it's like, if you pop in on like the store and you do those 20 minutes, people will be like, I don't want any part of this.
Nothing.
Yeah, because it's just, that's all you do.
You look at the headline, like, have fun, Bubba.
Have fun with that.
Have fun with that, dog.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, bud.
I mean, I had a couple sets that like memorable sets where like when I was featuring, where the headliner did like 38 minutes and he was like, I'm not.
Yeah, man, fuck
He's
this
like,
noise.
fuck that.
Good
I was
for
like,
him.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by our partner, Whoop. We all want to make healthier decisions. We want to try to sleep better, eat better, live healthier lives, and you need a little help along the way, and that's where Whoop comes in. It is a fitness track device that you wear on your wrist that gives you this insight into your body that you would otherwise not know. Personalized insight about you. It's like your body is a portfolio, and this is telling you what all the stocks and bonds are doing. It tells you when your body's recovered, when it's ready to take on strain, when you need to go to sleep. It has a built-in strain coach and sleep coach. Highly recommend it. You get all this incredible insight on your body for less than $30 a month. For our listeners, if you're thinking about giving Whoop a shot, there's no better time than today. You can save 15% off of Whoop with the code BEARS. Go to Whoop, WHOOP.com. Use the code BEARS at checkout to save 15% off today. Know yourself with personalized recovery, strain, and sleep insights from Whoop. 'Tis the season to grill, chill, and see if you're overpaying for home and auto insurance. Policy Genius is a free and easy way to look for cash savings you might be missing out on. The thrills don't have to stop when the fireworks end. Keep the rush going by seeing how much you could save on home and auto insurance. While you're layering on the SPF this summer, don't forget to protect your property too. Policy Genius can help you find ways to bundle your home and auto insurance and save on coverage. And it's great. You just head over to policygenius.com/cave, answer a few quick questions about yourself and your property, and then they take it from there. They bring you the prices that they've compared. And if you want to switch over, if you go, I want to go from Progressive to Allstate, or whichever which way, they do the switching for you. They've saved customers an average of $1,250 per year over what they were paying for home and auto insurance. Head to policygenius.com/cave to get started right now. Policy Genius, when it comes to insurance, it's nice to get it right. The sun's out. Bums are out, and hopefully your pubes are not out. Also, flip-flop season is upon us, and you're out here with those post-pandemic toenails. Don't worry. Our friends at Manscaped have you covered. They just launched their 4th generation performance package and their Shears 2.0 nail grooming kit. Join the Manscaped movement by going to manscaped.com/bears for 20% off plus free shipping. Performance Package 4.0 includes the new Lawnmower 4.0. The trimmer will change the way you approach grooming online. The 4th generation trimmer features advanced skin-safe technology to reduce grooming. You don't want any ingrown hairs or snags on your boys. Before beach season, the Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, an on-off travel lock, and of course, gives you the ability to turn the 4,000K LED spotlight on and off. Make your balls sing Get 20% off plus free shipping by going to manscaped.com/bears. That's 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com/bears. Tame that summer swamp in your pants with Manscaped.
Well, it's like when I was in Miami working, and I was like, I gotta get on stage. So I hit up the Improv. I'm like, yeah, we'll give you a spot. We'll give you 15 minutes, man. I was like, who's the headliner? Because the headlining club.
Yeah.
You just can't pop. It's not the store. You can't just
pop in.
And I go, it's Miss Pat. And I don't know her, but I know you guys know her.
Yeah, I know Miss Pat.
So I text you. I was like, hey, what's up, Miss Pat? She nice. You know what she do? And you're like, go big. It's a black audience. Go big.
Yeah.
And I haven't done 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I don't know how long.
It's a big shift change. People don't realize
in the
that.
cab there, I'm like, okay, what are we going to come out
It's
with
funny
that?
because you're used to doing hour sets and 15 is going to give you trouble. And you're like, yes, because I haven't done that.
And I'm trying to shuffle like, I got to edit this bit, edit this bit. It went all right. It went good.
Yeah.
I can handle myself. It went all right. But then Miss Pat comes on stage. She was so nice in the back. I'm like, oh, cool. I didn't know she's like the female version of Joey Diaz.
Oh, yeah.
She went out there and just... she goes, you fucking, all black crowd. She goes, you fucking pussies. You're going to cheer for that handsome white boy?
Yeah.
You're going to laugh at his shit at my show? I'm like, I'm in the back like, what the fuck? What the fuck happened to nice
She's
Miss Pat?
a monster.
Dude, she's a monster.
She's a monster.
Monster.
Yeah, Miss Pat can blow torch.
Oh, she blew that room apart.
Yeah, and like if she's another, I mean, she's a headliner, but like if you told her do 20 in front of me, I'd be like, good luck. Like she's gonna fucking torch the room.
Kill it.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I always tip my hat to these guys like Joe and like Russell, who they would bring people like Diaz and to open
Monsters.
for them because they're like, go ahead.
Oh,
go
dude, I got David Lucas. I don't even know David Lucas.
I did. I just saw him. I was in Austin and I saw him do it.
Did you see his set?
Yeah, he killed it.
Dude.
Killed it.
So I bring
Wait, do you roll like 9 deep?
features.
I saw you on a...
Yeah, I'm like Nelly.
Yeah.
I'm like Big Pun in the Terror Squad. But it makes no sense. My business guy's like, you know you're not making any money bringing all these guys, right? I'm like, shut up. So, I bring David.
Starting defenses out there. I mean, there's like so many people.
David Lucas walked in the green room the first weekend he's working with me. It's all my brother who's my manager. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
Chappelle, big dude. I bring my my good friend Mark Harley. He's just a great guy. He takes care of everything. But everyone's like,
he's not a comic.
No.
Okay.
He's a personal trainer, actor.
Okay.
He's on Nickelodeon. Like he's an actor.
Okay.
And so everyone's big. And David walks in and goes, damn, this is I'll fuck you up tour. But so I bring, I have Justin Elliott is the MC, and then David goes on, David Lucas, who's a monster, and then Chappelle does 20, and then I'll come on.
Wow.
But it's like monster.
But it raises, that's great because it raises the show. The show becomes...
I haven't felt like that. Don't get me wrong, Chappelle's a monster, but me and Chappelle's one of my best friends, so we're really close, and I know his act, and he knows my act. But then when David Lucas opened, he came when I was doing the Vulcan in Austin. He was like, hey man, you mind if I get a set? And I've always liked him at the Comedy Store. He's been really nice. I've never seen him do comedy. I knew he's a roast guy in Tony Hinchcliffe's show. I was like, yeah, dude, I'll give you 10 minutes. Blew it up to the point I was nervous in the back. I was like, fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
And then that's where the athlete in me comes. I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna make me better.
Exactly.
It's like when you're sparring, you don't want to spar the real shitty guy.
Yeah.
If you want to get to the next level, you gotta go with a really good guy.
Exactly.
So I hit him up. I'm like, dude, you're in. He's like, what? I'm like, you're coming with me for the rest of the time.
Yep, that is the right, and that I think it's more natural to athletes like you to go like, you know what, this is gonna make me better.
That's how I'm gonna get better.
Because most people have that resistance to it, but every time, like when I do these shows, I want to bring a really strong opener. I want the show to be great, front to back.
I never get why headliners bring shitty comics
Because they're scared.
I know they're scared.
And they're weak.
Yeah, and they're weak. Yeah. And they're insecure.
It's usually, I mean...
But it's like, that audience has to sit through that.
Yeah.
So when you get on stage, they're all right, go.
They want to look like the savior or whatever, Yeah. Now, it's interesting. There are like... There's a... Usually that thing is a shit act. Like it's a shitty... Like the shittiest... Well, the shittiest headliner... One of the shittiest headliners I ever opened for, who I'll tell you off.
I can't wait.
It's pretty... You'll be like, oh yeah. But... like pretty notable person, and I saw their act and I was like, you fucking suck. And so this guy had me host, right? So I was hosting and he had a middle act. His middle act was hands down one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. I was doing 10 minutes which is like the standard time at like a comedy club.
Yeah.
Host does 10, middle 20, and So I'm up to, I do 10. Second show, they asked me to do 5. And the next night he goes, will you do a tight 3? And I was like,
A tight 3?
Yeah.
You mean announce your name,
yeah,
motherfucker?
I was like, and they're like, you'll get paid the same. I'm like, oh, $50 still?
Yeah, thanks, dude.
So I'm like, okay. And I did it. And the guy in the middle, so I would get him going. And then one time I came back, the feature left, he would just eat just horrific dog.
And did he realize? It's weird to me when guys don't realize it.
He knows he sucks. He's like, I'm terrible. Like he was terrible.
This guy, see, I like that.
Yeah.
That guy's cool.
Yeah, he's likable.
It's the worst when the guy goes, crushed it.
I'm like, I kind of wanted to be like, oh, those guys are
Crushed it.
so delusional.
Or no, killed. I killed, dude.
Sometimes those guys, I'll watch a guy like have a bad set and they come off and you're like, how was that? And they're like, they're good. And you're like,
Really?
really?
no.
You mean like as people? Like you met
Yeah,
them?
you mean like, good heart? Or
Yeah.
what are we talking about here, man?
I was talking about, yeah.
Yeah, what world are you fucking living in?
This guy, this shitty comedian, when the guy got off stage, one time I went up and I did a joke between the feature, the horrible feature, and the headliner, and they're like, don't do that either. Because like you got them kind of going again.
What are you doing, dude?
Because-
you're making them laugh? You
Yeah.
piece of shit?
Yeah. And then
No, you're not gonna get your $50, right?
on top of all of that, I fucking sat in the green room with this shitty headliner and riffed on one of his bits. He was like, can I use that? And I was like, sure. And so I ended up writing a couple jokes for him.
Say thanks for the jokes, man. Here's $50.
Here's $50, dog.
You know what's weird too is my boy Ricky Cruz and Luis Diaz. They're in Miami. They're local Miami comics. When I first worked with them at the Miami Improv, Luis comes in. He's this big fat Cuban guy, and Ricky used to be roommates with Joey Diaz. Monster, like local monster. Came out to LA and then had kids, moved back, but
Yeah.
monster. All the local references.
Yeah.
Lights the room on fire.
Sure.
I have a funny story I can't tell on this about him opening for a headliner that we know.
Okay.
But
And giving him trouble?
oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. The manager was like, he told the headliner, this is the manager of Miami, goes to the headliner who we know. He goes, hey, so I think what we should do is Ricky should probably close it out and then you host and do like have fun and bring in the feature. And then
Oh, no.
and he wouldn't do it.
He wouldn't do it.
He's like, no, I sold the tickets there to see me. He's like, I know, but it's not going well. And I don't know if you see people leaving and walking, but we can't have that. And
Yeah.
he's like, I don't care. I'm headlining.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, dude, what do I know?
Yeah, I mean, good for him.
I mean, but back to this is always weird to me. Luis Diaz he came in the green room and he goes, I'm just grabbing water, man. I'm being your way. I'm just gonna grab water. I go, what are you doing, dude? Introduce yourself. What are you, weird? Like, what do you have autism? What are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, Forrest Gump, get back in here.
Yeah.
He goes, most headliners won't let anybody in the green room.
Really?
I go, who have the fuck you been working with? He goes, they won't even allow me to take a drink or anything, man. I just want a cup of water. I'm like, there's bottled water. He goes, I don't touch that. I'm like, yeah.
This is when you met him.
This is like 2 years ago.
This is Ricky?
Luis Diaz.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, what? What headliner is such
You're like,
assholes?
Take a seat. Yeah, I remember. Well, I had what's his name? Robert Schimmel, who passed away. The sweetest man. And I remember because I had worked one weekend. I worked a few weekends with Charlie Murphy, and one weekend they were like, I walked into the green room, the guy goes, what are you doing? And this is like just some guy. And I was like, he's like, oh yeah, you can't be in there. And I was like, where am I supposed to
hang, man?
He was just like, find somewhere out here.
Just like chill around the crowd.
And I was like, okay.
But, even Mrs. Pat's room was a little bit like, I remember her guy who does, she usually just brings one guy on the road. So they did me a favor by letting me go between them.
Mm-hmm.
But he usually does 25 to 30 and then she comes on, does her hour.
Okay.
That's what she does. But then I was back there just, I don't know, Miss Pat.
Yeah.
My green rooms are fun, man. Like,
Yeah.
we're not going to war here. Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have the best jobs in the world.
Yeah.
So everyone be cool.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to her and I hear him go to my my videographer who's with me. He goes, hey, does he always talk this much, man? And that was the cue. I was like, I'm just going to find a spot out there. And I see how this is. Yeah, I get this. You always talk that much, man?
Yeah. He talks a lot,
Yeah, you talk a lot, huh?
Yeah, they told me to like wait outside, and I was like, okay.
Isn't that weird?
Huh?
That's fucking weird.
It was super weird. I didn't feel like it didn't. I mean, it could be from Charlie. It felt like it was like whoever this guy's job was. He was just like, I keep people out of here.
Charlie had a tough gig because obviously Eddie Murphy's his brother.
Yeah, yeah.
And he gets he's funny as fuck on Chappelle's show, and then
Yeah.
he's headline.
Yeah.
Paired Rogan, like, and then they paired him and Rogan together.
That's how I met
And
Rogan.
Rogan be like, bro, you like, I'm just doing you a solid. I know your name's on there, but you should go before me.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's not an ego thing. I've just been doing this a lot longer, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way it should work.
But Charlie insisted on taking turns.
And that you said that's how you met Rogan?
That's how I met Rogan.
Oh, really?
So I won a contest. That's how I met Rogan.
What kind?
To host to do 3 minutes
3 minutes.
on those shows. So it was called the Maxim Bud Light Real Men of Comedy Tour.
Hell yeah.
And there was
We're never going to see that again in 2021. But
never. And it was Charlie, Joe, and Heffron. And Charlie and Joe were like the co-headliners. And then Heffron would do 15 minutes. And then if they had contests regionally across the country, because let's say it was like 20 national shows. So I showcased at Irvine and I won the contest. And then they go, you're going to do 3 shows on this tour. You're going to do Irvine, San Diego, and Phoenix.
And at this point, you're like what in comedy?
I'm
Are you hosting, featuring?
Yeah, I'm starting to feature. No, I've been featuring like a year.
Okay.
A year and a half maybe. And I'm a decent feature act.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do I do? And they're like, you open the show and you do 3 minutes. And then you bring on John. I was like,
3 minutes?
3 minutes.
Get my beak wet.
Bro, and I did it in Phoenix at the Celebrity Theater in the round. We're talking like, a few thousand people. And you got to be like, they're like, you're on, go. And it's like
3 minutes.
3 minutes. So I also saw them take turns. I saw Charlie eat fucking shit one night.
Do you realize it?
I mean, there's no way he didn't realize it. But he actually had the thing where it's tough, where he didn't like sulk and go like, I fucking suck.
Like,
Maybe he felt like that, but he would come back the next day. So I actually saw him have a really bad set, a really good set, like a really good set, and then like a pretty decent set. I saw in those 3 shows. And he ended up taking me out to dinner. I almost didn't, like, I think I told this story, but I almost, so I met Joe and he was very nice, but it was just like very brief. And then in Phoenix was the last show of my 3-show run. And I remember I was backstage and UFC fights were on, but so was like LSU Auburn. And I choose that.
LSU Auburn.
Yeah.
Me too.
And
I
I'm
would
watching
choose
that. And like his buddies were there and they're like, there's like fights on. I was like, who gives a shit? Like, and they were like,
LSU
that you're here
Auburn.
with like a UFC commentator, right?
The UFC
And I was like, yeah, but like LSU's number 3 right now. They're like, what? Like all these guys were
They
like,
have no clue.
They had no clue. And like, I would leave the room and fights would be on, and then I would come back in and football would be on, and they were like, God damn it, with the fucking
Come
football.
on, dude.
Yeah. And
So were you living in California at the time?
Yeah, I was living here.
All right.
And this was like I said, this was like this crazy contest.
This is a while ago.
This is 2007.
Okay.
So in 2007, I'm doing these shows. So the Phoenix show was the biggest show and the last show of the run, and it was my best 3-minute set. But I got like
3 minutes.
I know it's so quick. I got a couple like big laughs, and then I introduced John, and the show goes on. So after the show, I'm hanging out backstage, and I'm talking. Charlie's like, chat me up a little bit. He's like, you want to go to dinner? And I was like, and by the way, it's 2007. This is like the height of like Chappelle Show fame and all this
He's
stuff.
so famous.
And he's so famous, and I'm a huge fan. So I'm like playing it cool. I was like, yeah, let's go to dinner, man.
I'll check the schedule.
Yeah,
man.
we'll see what's going on. What kind of food you feel like eating right now, man? So
What are you into, dog?
he was like, let's go get some sushi. You know anything about sushi, dog? I was like, yeah. So
Yeah, I fucks with sushi.
he's like, all right, bet, let's go eat sushi. He walks down this hallway with Rich Murphy, who would travel, like his guy, and they like start. I see them walking down the hall. I start walking down the hall, and they're 20 yards ahead of me. And then Joe stops me, and he's like, "Hey, man," and he's doing like real nice to like the younger comic thing. He's like, "Dude, you're like this. It's really funny."
That's so cool.
And I was like, "Thanks, man." And he keeps like, "Where are you from?"
And were you familiar with Rogan before then?
I knew
Like Fear Factor?
Oh, I knew him from that, and I knew that he was a comedian. And I wasn't a store guy, but I had seen Joe. I had been to the store like to do invited spots, like outside spots, and I'd seen him in the OR, but just for like a few minutes, and then I
wouldn't talk.
No, and I'd see him in the parking lot talking, but I was like off to the side, So he's chatting me up, and he's like, you're really funny. We should do a gig together sometime. And people, I had heard that because I'd been working as a middle in like the Funny Bones and Improvs, and sometimes, I mean, I remember one time Tommy Davidson was like, you know, do you want to tour together? And I was like, yeah. He's like, it could be like the Tommy and Tom tour. And I was like, awesome.
Tommy Square, dog. What
He
you
was,
think
because
about that?
he liked me and we got along well and like the shows went well. And then I like followed up. I was like, I never heard from him. No, I talked to his agent. I was like, he wants to do this tour. And they were like, okay. And they called me back and they're like, he has no idea what you're talking about. And I was like,
Was he high or what?
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think I should say.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, I thought we were doing the T Squared show, man. What's up?
T Square, dog.
So Joe's like, we should do that. And by the way, the whole time that he's doing this, he's like, we should do this. I'm like looking at the door like, I'm doing a sushi with
Yeah,
Charlie
no
Murphy.
doubt, dog.
Yeah.
You get sushi.
And I'm like doing this thing where like, as Joe's talking, you know, when you're like, you
you're
start to like,
you're like, yeah, no doubt. Dude, call my agent. That'd be
yeah.
fun. That
I
sounds
was like,
fun.
yes.
Yeah, well,
And I kept like turning and he was like settling into the conversation. He was like, so you're from Cincinnati? And I was like, yeah, man.
you're like, yeah, Cincinnati, the big C. Hey,
Because like Charlie and I are about
did
to.
Charlie go that way?
Yeah,
'Cause- yeah.
And he's like, let me get your number. And I was like, oh, okay. And I give him my number. He's like, yeah, we'll do it. And I was like, okay, great. And I just like, when I go outside, I can see the brake lights turning. They're turning the car, and I'm running. My fattest running through the parking lot. Yeah. I was like, Charlie. And Rich, I know Rich didn't want me to come to dinner.
Say, man, fuck that white boy.
Yeah.
Let's get
I
going.
was like,
dog.
and I got there, and Rich was like, yeah, he made it.
damn,
Fuck, man.
man.
So I get in there, and we got to dinner. And I have such vivid memories of that dinner because Charlie has such a funny like way of thinking and speaking. I've told this before, but when Charlie was first gonna do Rogan, and I found out, I was like, make sure you ask him, and you can watch it in the episode. I go, make sure you ask him about Johnny Gill saying that he can beat Oscar De La Hoya in a fight, because that's what he told me at dinner that night, and I laughed so fucking hard because the way that he brought it up, he was like, do you think Oscar De La Hoya could whoop your ass? And I was like, yeah. I was like, what are you talking about?
Of course.
And he was like,
that's Oscar De La Hoya.
yeah, he was like he could fuck you up. I was like, for sure. And he was like, yeah, right? And I was like, dude, there's no question about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you wouldn't even know what happened. It would be so fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, the speed is what would stand out. You'd be like, I remember something started.
Also, I can't box. so
Yeah,
just
yeah. I was
that.
like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? And he was like, you know Johnny Gill? And I was like, the singer? And he's like, yeah. He goes, he thinks he can whip Oscar De La Hoya's ass. I was like, what? And he told me this story about how they're at a party and Johnny Gill was like, I could fuck him up. And they're like, no, you can't. And like this whole argument.
Like legit debate.
Legit, and Johnny Gill's like swearing to God that he can. So I was like, Joe, you have to ask him this. And he did. He asked him about it. And he was like, how you know that? So that night, the funny thing is I go to dinner with Charlie and Rich, and then we go back to the hotel. And like Charlie and I really got along. We really clicked.
you're boys.
We had good rapport. We laughed a lot. And so I go, well, this is it for me, man. And he goes, no, it's not. Like he's like shaking my hand. And I go, what? He goes, I'm in charge. Like this ain't it. He's like, give me, he goes, Rich, I still remember, he goes, pull out the bat phone. So.
The bat phone?
Yeah, it
What's
was a
that?
flip phone. It was their burner or whatever, And he's like, he goes, what's your number? And I see Rich, like I'm go, it's 32. I see him go like.
Faking the number.
Yeah. And I was like, and I know he's not putting
I've been like, your boy, Rich, he's not putting in the right number, man.
Yeah, he's not. Did you get that?
You know what? Give me your number. Fuck
Yeah.
Rich.
So I see him do that because Rich could not. He just didn't
like you.
He didn't like me, man. And it's one of those things where, and I put it together in real time in the moment. I was like,
Never
okay,
heard from him.
yeah. Every time I said something, Rich would be like,
So you never heard from.
That was it. I never heard from him again.
Dang.
2-3 weeks later, I get a phone call that I don't recognize, and it's Joe. And he goes, hey, what are you doing next week or the week after? I was like, nothing. He goes, you want to go to Tampa? And I was like, yeah, what's Tampa? He goes, we'll do some shows, and you like the UFC? And I was like, I mean, kind of. I didn't.
It's cool.
I was like, I like college football. Yeah. And he was like, all right, we'll go to the fights the next day, and, is that cool? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
And
down.
then,
man.
I remember I was like, yeah, I'm going to Tampa.
And then how long did you feature for Joe?
He would, he always, like at that time, it was like a circle of guys, right? It was, so I started to do it. Ari was already doing it. Diaz would do it. But he would bring me like, I don't know. At that time, I feel like a couple times every few months.
And did he paid well even back then?
Yeah, I mean, it always like matched whatever level what he was
Yes.
doing, you know?
Yep.
So like in the clubs, it was more than the clubs paid you, which I took that when I started selling tickets in clubs. If you came to open for me, I'd be like, I'll pay you double. Like I'll match what the club pays you, you know?
Yeah.
So that like the feature act actually makes a living, you know?
Yeah, like I'll call Rogan and be like, hey man, I pay Chappelle this much and David this much. I'm like, that's cool. You know, I pay my guys. And they'll tell me, I'm like, no, I know. But we're not talking about you though.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you also,
Yeah.
you're doing it with Chappelle. So
Yeah.
we're not on the same.
No, definitely not the same.
Yeah. I'm like, it's all right, man. I'm like, I feel like it's pretty good.
Yeah,
You know, it's not.
The amount, I think it always depends on like what you're getting, right? So
That's what I tell those guys. And
Yeah.
I'll be open with too. I'm like, hey, we sold out this weekend. It was whatever. We added shows. So
Yeah.
you guys to see that in your paycheck.
Yeah, which is awesome. It's cool to do.
But the clubs, it's like, dude, and they're still doing that to this day.
They're doing this.
$50.
I brought this
$100
up
for a
on
feature.
Twitter one time, and I got like shit from people.
Really?
Well, yeah, because I think it's time for the clubs to just change the default rates, only because these have been the rates for 35 years.
How's it not change?
They just have gotten away with that. And all I did was go like, you want these future headliners to be able to make a living.
Doing
I'm
their
not even
craft.
talking about getting like rich, just like
Just to
Pay
get
the-
by, dude. No one can get by on a features pay.
$100 a show, and they don't take care of your airfare. So if you have to get on a plane to feature somewhere, you're netting like $100 for the week. Like
It's nuts.
So, but then people were like, why don't you start a comedy? Like, I was like, okay, you know,
fuck it.
yeah, I was like, I think it's like worth discussing, you know, but whatever. They just don't.
So when in Austin, because you're one of the guys, I just found this crazy. Like I told you, you're my North Star. When I met with my team, and like, all right, who do you want to be? You know, in like 5 to 10 years, I'm like, Segura. Segura's my North Star.
Wow.
Yeah, you're my
Like,
guy.
I want to break my left arm. I want to tear my
break my
patellar
leg. Yeah,
tendon.
I'm
Yeah.
No, but you are, and so you know when you look at things, like you were never a guy, like you weren't at the Comedy Store like Rogan or
No.
Joey and those guys. Bert
Comedy
wasn't
Store
either.
didn't invite me to do spots in like where they said like you can
until when?
2016.
Jesus Christ, that's
Well,
right when
but
I popped up.
Here's what it happened. Like I showcased one, like first of all, I was already in at the improvs, like working them.
Yes.
And they were great to me, and I still work improvs, and that was just the place that was. And at the time, when I would stop in the store for something, I was
shithole.
like, I don't even want to
Yeah.
be here. Like it didn't seem desirable to
Yeah.
me at that like 05, 06, 07. Like I would go there and I'd be like, and eventually it's, you know, whatever, talking with her, like, you should try to be at the store. And this is before the turnaround where it's like
Yeah.
became this amazing
Blown up,
place.
yeah.
So I showcased in 09. I don't get past. And I was like, all right. So the next year I'm working. I'm like always on the road, you
Yeah.
know? And I'm working. And when in town, I'm doing Melrose. That's my spot.
But you're headlining on tour.
On tour, I'm headlining. In that
Town,
time,
just doing spots.
I'm just doing spots. 2010, I shoot a Comedy Central half-hour special.
Shot to half hours.
Shot the half hour in October of 2010. In January of 2011, it comes out. So a few months later, you know, Comedy Central sends me like a couple DVDs of it. I go to the store one night and I go, hey, you know, I want to try to work here. And Tommy is the guy running the place. So I have a DVD and I go, he goes, I know who you are. And I go, oh, can I like showcase or whatever? He's like, yeah. He's like, tonight's open mic. You can do the open mic
In the OR.
in the OR. And I go, okay. Like, I'm not too good for it. And he goes, I'll tell you what, most people do 3 minutes. I'll give you 9 minutes. I was like, that's cool.
Hell yeah.
So I do my set, and like it, you know, for an open mic set, it goes pretty well.
I'm sure those open mics can be a nightmare.
Yeah, and like I'm out up there with fucking lunatics in the room, you know.
You're a guy who's making a living.
Yeah,
doing this.
I'm like, I bring your regulars
Yes.
on the road.
Yeah.
So I get off stage and he goes, you did 11. And I was like, what? He goes, I gave you 9, but you did 11. I'm like, who cares?
Did you not hear him laughing, bitch?
All I want to know is, can I start calling in?
Yeah.
And he was like, just keep coming to this. I was like, you want me to keep coming
To the open mic?
And he was like, yeah, man. Like, this is an artist commune.
Wow.
He gave me that whole thing, and I was like, I'll see you when I
out.
see you. So, and I honestly wasn't like, it sounds like
Bitter?
I was not.
No, you don't sound bitter.
I was like, I was so busy with like just trying to grind and make a living.
Yeah, that wasn't your end all be all.
It was just
for a lot
fun.
of guys it is.
Yeah, I just accepted it. And I was like, look, I'm not even going to be in LA but 3 days in the next 2 months because all I do is tour. So I just keep, you know, I would get invited to do shows there sometimes and I would do them. And then it's like 2013, 2014. And people would ask me, they're like, how come I never see you at the store? I'm like, because I don't go there. And then one day I was up there. I was up in the belly room and I had done, I think, a set. And I'm watching this and it was hopping, man. It was like the whole store was. Every room was on fire. But up in the belly room, the belly room is on fire. It's like it's
the best.
It's so rad.
The best.
So it's like 85 people and it's just pandemonium. And I'm standing up there with a couple people and Al Madrigal standing next to me. He was like, I go, this is fucking crazy, man. He goes, yeah, dude, it's like this like every night now. And I go, that's awesome. He's like, how come you're not here all the time? And I'm like, I don't work here. And he was like, what? And I go, I don't work here. Like I showcased, I don't know, fucking 7 years ago.
They didn't pass you.
And then he was like, hold on a second.
Yeah, I'll get you passed.
He's walked, I see him like talking to Adam and Adam comes over. He's like, yeah, you can just call whenever you want. I was like, is that it?
That's it?
He was like, yeah. I was like, okay.
But even then, even after you got passed, you weren't like a guy there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
No,
you weren't.
no.
You and Bert never were. And
No.
because you know, obviously, Rogan and Callan took me under the wing, and even Callan wasn't that guy when I first met him. He started to be, but then Rogan was like, I'm like, God, you're here every fucking night, dog, doing hour set.
Everybody has their own, like, here's the thing though. If you really look at like a calendar and you go like, how much stand-up is each person doing? If you were taking me, let's say at that year, 2016, you could look at a month and be like, so Tom did 27 hours of stand-up.
Correct.
Right? Because I would be like doing clubs and then theaters, and then some weeks I'm doing like 8-9 shows. And, you know, I would get to LA and on, you know, if I had back-to-back weeks like that, I'd be like, yeah, I'm all good.
I'm good.
And I'm also writing on the road. Like
you build your hour on the road.
So when I get in town, it's not like I don't need the reps. I do, but I'm just not like I'm going to be on
You're getting
there.
them elsewhere. Yeah, and that's where I do get competitive a little bit. I'll go to my agent, you know, at CA, and I'll say, hey, show me who's done more dates than me. And it's very rare people do more dates than me.
Well, yeah.
As far as time on stage,
yeah, you're a psycho
I'm usually
like that.
top 3.
Because you're doing like we do, like tons of podcasts, get on the road, working, and then you're still fucking benching 425 and
for no reason at all.
Yeah. Is your butt clean enough to sit on the couch naked? No? Get a tushy. Imagine the weird stuff you're safe to do with a tushy by your side. I know me, there's a bunch of chocolate and sweat, lint, old receipts, everything hanging out in, around, and beside my asshole. And thanks to a tushy, a lot of it gets washed away. Tushy is the bidet for people who poop. Are you one of those people? Think about it. If a bird pooped on you, you wouldn't just wipe it off, would you? No, you'd wash it off. So why are you smashing and smearing and smushing huge mountains of shit all over your asshole? Get a tushy and spray it off. Be clean. Let somebody eat out of there. Tushy keeps your bum clean and fresh all summer long without having to jump in the shower by blasting away butt sweat and other juices that guys deposited in there. Go to hellotushy.com/bears to get 10% off your order and free shipping. Bud Light Seltzer Iced Tea and Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade are the perfect combination for summer. You know about Bud Light Seltzer, the delicious hard seltzer from Bud Light with no Bud Light in it. Now Bud Light Seltzer is here with the perfect flavors for summer with the Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade Variety Pack and the brand new Bud Light Seltzer Iced Tea Variety Pack. All of these seltzers are 5% alcohol by volume, 100 calories, and gluten-free. Check out these flavors. Iced tea flavors, peach, raspberry, tangerine, apple. If you really want to try them all, you can get them together in the Bud Light Seltzer Iced Tea and Lemonade Mix Pack. Mix them together to find your favorite Bud Light Seltzer combo and alcoholic Arnold Palmer. These are the perfect drinks for the summer. Where are you taking your seltzers? To the barbecue? Are you chilling at a picnic? Are you just hanging out, golfing, boating? It goes with everything. Remember, you can get all the different flavors of Bud Light Seltzer delivered at budlight.com/delivery or pick it up at your local neighborhood grocery, convenience, or liquor store. You just took to that. Like, I feel like I saw a little while ago, you pop into Bradley Martin's place to Zoo Culture?
Dude, and I live close to here, and during the pandemic, obviously everything shut down. I was just riding my bike every day.
Yeah.
I was just that thick boy bike club I started.
Yeah.
I got all these fat dudes DMing me in spandex and shit. And I'm like, I gotta do something, man. This ain't cool.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't in great shape, even though I was riding like 40 miles a day doing all this stuff. Got sponsored by Specialized, like started up this brand. And then I was like, man, I need to get back into the goddamn gym. And then again, my son, because he, I'm sure your son's saying, well, looks at you like a goddamn superhero.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Daddy, he's like, he saw a picture of me fighting. He's like, what? You're not as big anymore? I'm like, I'm a different big, and like joking around, but he's not having it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, I gotta get in shape for the kids. Because they're beasts.
And it motivates.
I know everyone says this, but my kids are fucking monsters.
I believe it.
Like they're big kids.
They have your genetics, so I believe it.
And my girl's a beast too. So
really?
Yeah. My mother-in-law's, they're monsters.
They're monsters.
They're genetically
by the way, you started by saying that you don't lie to your son.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
Oh yeah. So last week or 2 weeks ago, I drove a Circuit of the Americas in Austin, COTA, like the F1 track.
Oh, sick.
And I took my GT4 on it, and I was, and they sent me. I didn't even know they did this. They did a couple like short videos, so they sent it to me. So I was watching it at home, and my older kid, he's like, "Is that you?"
How old is he now?
He's 5.
Yeah. They know
He's
what's
like,
up.
yeah, he's like, "That's you?" He goes, "That's your car." I go, "Yeah, that's me." He's like, "Did you race?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Did you win?" And I go, "Yeah."
Hell yeah. I won,
He's like,
dog.
"You won?"
Yeah.
And I go, "Yeah, man."
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And he's like, "They give you a trophy." I was like, "Nah, they didn't have any trophies
Not for
today."
this, man. They're
I go,
fresh
"But I
out."
fucking smoked everybody."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah."
My kid with, I have that GT2 RS.
Yeah, don't flex on me.
No,
I was
I'm
trying
not.
to say, I was trying to.
You have cars too, though. You
Come
have big
on,
cars
man.
too.
That was.
You're a car guy.
You just shitted on me, man.
No, it's not a flex. That GT4 is dope.
It's dope. You had a GT2 RS that you had modified.
Modified.
Which is the most unnecessary modification.
Yeah. Rogan goes, "What are you doing? You're fucking this thing up." I go, "Zip it, dude." So, yeah, let me live my fucking life. Yeah, so I have problems. So I get that GT2 RS, and then I modified it. So it's at like 970 something horsepower. It's a monster.
Is it here?
No, I brought the Defender today. Have you seen that?
No.
It's dope.
All right, let's check it out.
Yeah. So, but as far as LA goes, probably the fastest car in LA. So whenever my son
so
sees like a
silly.
Lamborghini or something, he'll go, "Dad, is your car faster than that?" And I never lie to him. I go, "Yeah, yep. I go, yep. And then out of all the fucking cars, a Bugatti
Just pulls up.
And he goes, "Dad, what's that?" I go, "That's a Bugatti, dude. Those are like $1 million." He goes, he doesn't understand money. He goes, $1 million is a lot of money. I go, "It's all the money,
Yeah.
but it's all the money for a car." And
It's everyone's money piled
yeah,
together.
I'm like, that's everybody's money. And he goes, "That faster in your car?" I go, "I think it is." He goes, "No way." I go, "I think it is."
And then he's like, "Do you think you could beat that guy up?" You're like, "I'll fucking kill that guy."
I'll fucking kill that. You think he has a black belt?
Yeah.
No, dude. I'll fucking destroy that guy.
I love that you told him you could kick everybody's ass.
Yeah. And they're
Now,
going to hear this now?
how do you-
And then I got to go back in there on
Yeah.
Thursday?
They're going to be like, "Really? All of us, huh?"
Yeah. Like, yeah. I said
Everybody-
it, dude.
You see people just starting to go around you, and you're like, "What's going on?"
But do you have this problem? Like, is your son into sports? Again, into sports?
Yeah,
At all?
a
little bit, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Like my son played soccer, and it's like wrangling cats, right?
Yeah,
Like
he's fat. My big boy.
chunky?
No, he's fast.
Oh, he's
super
fast. Oh,
like
God,
he's
I think
lanky.
fat.
No, he's super lean, and he wakes up and runs to our room.
Yep.
Like hauls ass
Hell
into
yeah.
the room, and then he calls me Tom.
Really?
Yeah,
He's
like,
hilarious.
He's like, "Hey, Mom. Hey, Tom."
Hey,
And I'm
Tom.
like,
Yo, come on, dude. It's dad around here, bro.
I'm like, "Come on, dude." And he's like, "You having a good day, Tom?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Cool. Who's your real dad?
Yeah. They'll say some crazy shit. Like my son always go, "It's hard being real, Dad." I'm like, I don't know. Who
What
the
are you
fuck did you
talking
get that
about?
from? He's like, "It's hard being real."
Being real.
Be hard being
I'm just
real.
trying to be real with you right
Yeah,
now,
I'm
Dad.
just being real, Dad. You fucking fraud, dog. No, but he, you a fraud, dog. No, but he, yeah, like when he's doing jiu-jitsu, like, if he gets into podcast stand-up jiu-jitsu, yeah, that's my shit, man. I'll coach him up on it. So when he's doing it, I'll see stuff and I'll take him to the side, and like I don't want to be that overbearing, like
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you.
but it's also like you're skipping steps, dude. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to tell the coach, but I'm like, so when he goes for water, I'm like, here's a squirt of water. You don't need all the water.
Yeah.
Let me show you like how you should be getting here.
Yeah.
Like, he's showing you A to D. You're
Yeah.
missing B and C, dude.
Yeah.
This is B and C.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you get any Like to coach.
I can kind of feel a little bit, but I think they have respect. They know who I am. You know, they have some respect. So
they know you're not just
it.
like a crazy dad who thinks he knows how to
like
fight.
showing him some fucking World Star videos.
Fighting is, I think I said there's 4 things that a lot of dudes inherently think that they're good at.
And we've done all of them.
Well, it's
Stand
fighting,
up, being funny.
Fighting's funny, fucking, and driving.
Correct.
Men think they're inherently good drivers a lot.
Yep.
They think that they're funny.
Yeah.
Or they're threatened by you if they think you are.
Yep.
Dudes, a lot is natural. Like I could fight.
Yep.
And they're like,
I can't tell you how many times I've been at Zoo Culture and I've had like YouTubers come up to me and be like, dude, I think I beat up Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, no doubt, dude. Do that.
Yeah.
Go do that.
Yeah.
Go do that though.
Yeah.
But go do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, people don't understand what like the difference between a trained fighter and like somebody who's just athletic and can throw a haymaker.
There's that, but in same thing with comedy too. It's like you're funny at the family barbecue, but to put a set together to relate to a crowd that doesn't know who you are is a different animal.
That's just totally, because people ask me that too. Like a lot of times guys will be like, I'm funny as shit. They always boast about it. They're like, funny as fuck, man.
Have you ever said that in your life? I've never said that.
No, never. And I also like, I'll never argue against someone who doesn't find me funny either. Like when someone's like, I don't find you funny, I'm like, great.
Well, you see it all the time. Like obviously the biggest guy in the world's going to get all of it. But anytime you have success, people are going to come out like, oh, that guy's not funny.
Yeah.
Like with Kevin Hart, he's not funny. Oh, he's not?
Yeah.
Well, weird. He's the biggest selling comic of all time.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
year after year after year.
But someone thinks he's funny.
Sucks.
Yeah, he sucks, man.
Yeah,
he sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to kind of.
Yeah. You're not funny. Weird. My bank account begs a difference.
Yeah, it's you just got to. You have to go. Well, I'll play to the people who think I am.
I don't see any of it. Are you a social media guy? Like you know how like Rogan say I don't see it. When I say I don't see it, I don't see anything.
That's good.
I post and I get the fuck out.
That's the way to do it.
Nothing.
It's hard to. Did you ever find like looking at it hard to resist? Because I feel like it's a natural thing that's hard to resist.
When I first got on, years ago, because I didn't. I think we all did. We got on there and I'd post and you'd read how it go. And then once I realized like all these opinions, I'm like, oh, this isn't healthy. And I found myself like my kid would be swimming and I'd be like on Instagram staring at other people's shitty lives or where the fuck they're doing. I'm like, this isn't good. What am I doing, dude?
Yeah.
So it was my kid. I was like, this is just a waste of time. And like, I've never gotten advice on there. I'm like, oh, that's great advice, dude. I'm going to use that in my set. Thank you.
Never.
That improves my life.
Never,
Thank you.
no.
Never. So I'm like, why am I giving so much attention? So I just got out of it. It's literally got out.
Probably one of the healthiest things you can do.
For your mental health. Oh, dude.
Without a doubt, man. I notice sometimes I'll get busy enough that I'm not looking or posting it. And all of a sudden I'll be like, oh my God, like 4 days have gone by and I didn't post it. And I'm like, it felt good. Like, it felt good.
Like if someone talks shit about me, like, my brother, one of my boys, like, oh, you see this guy talk shit about you? I'm like,
no.
Don't even tell me what he said.
Yeah, and don't show me his account. I don't want to know.
Care. Yeah, it's not going to affect me.
I don't need to know.
Because whoever's doing it, they just want attention.
Of course.
I'm not here for it.
Well, these guys, the guy, I repeatedly hear the thing the guy will go, I'm really funny. I can make, my friends laugh. Like he goes, what's the difference between me being funny and being a comedian? I'm like, well, the difference is you're being funny to like someone you're talking to and being funny to an audience. Like you have to communicate it to a large group
don't
of
know
people.
who you are. They have to get the references. It's a whole.
Yeah, it's like, and then I can't believe that person asking that doesn't put that together. Then they're like, oh yeah, I never thought of that. It's like you never thought of the most obvious
asking
thing.
This shows me that you're never gonna make it.
Yeah, well,
like even by asking,
you haven't even started. Or
it's like
the other one that I've heard dozens. I can't believe how many times I've heard this. Somebody goes like, I have like fucking 45 minutes of material, but I've never done it. I'm like, and you have 45? And they're like, I just got like pages of shit, and they're like, and it's good. And I'm like, well, then you're set.
Yeah, dude. It sounds like go on the road, dude.
It's like, what should I do? I'm like, just get on stage.
Get on stage. Do that hot 45 on stage. I mean, how it goes.
Start
dog.
open with it. Just do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, that. What do I need to do? I'm like, find an open mic.
Yep.
Invite everybody. Have people come out and see you. That's probably really good your first time.
Is your plan when you get to Austin? Are you going to be again? Because you weren't like popping up at the store or the Improv or Factory here. There, you're same shit. Build the hour on the road. So I have your podcast.
Yeah, I have an hour, and I have done some spots in Austin, and like this week I'm in LA. I've done 3. I'm gonna end up doing 4 spots this week here. Just like
we're doing like Jam in the Van.
I'm doing what's it called? I did Supernova a couple times. Best show.